What's up, guys? Your reporter Quick Stocks is back. As always, remember to hit those thumbs to recharge my dopamine, and we will get right into your analysis of Mtch, ticker symbol MTCH, trading for $78 a share as of April 27th, 2020, equating to a $22 billion market cap and a PE, or price per earnings, of 43. Since its IPO in November 2015, early investors have been massively rewarded with a 415% increase in its share price since its IPO. Did we already miss the gains? Or with earnings coming out next week, should we still swipe right on Mtch? This is your quick stock analysis. Mtch Group is the dominant player in the online dating world, making up 25% of the total online dating market. Not only do they operate Match.com, but also OkCupid, Plenty of Fish in the Sea, Hinge, and of course, the big boy, Tinder. You may find yourself wondering, why does Mtch Group invest so much of its time and resources into so many different companies that offer such similar services? After all, at the end of the day, aren't they all just dating apps? Well, when you look at consumer habits, it's not as silly as it may sound. The data states that the typical single using an online dating service or app tends to use multiple apps, and people use different apps based on their age and lifestyle. However, it is important to note one of these apps is well outshining the rest, bringing in half of Mtch Group's total 2019 revenue. And of course, I'm talking about Tinder. There are over 57 million Tinder users around the world. 6 million Tinder subscribers paying for a premium Tinder Plus and Tinder Gold. Tinder is used in 190 countries and is available in 40 languages. In total, Tinder users go on 1 million dates per week, and the average active Tinder user logs on 4 times a day. It's important to note, though, that one shouldn't overlook the rest of the companies under Mtch Group's umbrella, such as OkCupid, Plenty of Fish, Hinge, and Match.com, which are all extremely successful in their own right, and are certainly going to bring in massive amounts of growth for Mtch Group in the future. In 2019, Mandy Ginsberg, the CEO of Mtch, stated that 10 years ago, 3% of relationships started online, and now 30% of relationships start online, at least in the United States. And a recent study from Stanford University states that that number could be closer to 40%. So, Mtch Group is a buy, right? Well, before opening an investment in Mtch, we have to ask ourselves, do we really expect the adoption of online dating culture to continue? Well, let's look at what it's got going for it. First, let's be real, it's easy. It's a lot easier to get rejected on an app than it is in person. And there's a lot of people using online dating apps, making it easier to find someone you are attracted to and share similar interests with. There's a level of physical distance that makes people feel safer. If someone is a creep, it's a lot easier to block them than to remove them from their life if they meet in person. Also, online dating sites have the potential to improve their matchmaking algorithm. It may sound crazy, but if YouTube can peg what I want to watch when and where, I don't think it would be a stretch to assume dating sites can improve your odds on potential partners. Finally, they are in the business of having up-to-date information about people in the dating pool. Don't get me wrong, by no means am I saying people using online dating apps don't use overly generous descriptions, out-of-date profile photos, misleading relationship statuses, etc. But a lot of people find the positives to far outweigh the negatives. So now that we have the fundamentals out of the way, let's take a look at the company. Last quarter, Mtch had a revenue of $547 million with a net margin of 26% and a return on equity of 237%. Their next earnings are expected May 5th, 2020, and in my opinion, they are going to report absolutely insane metrics for daily active users and new users. With everyone being quarantined, it wouldn't be a stretch to assume a lot of people are using dating apps, even though the number of physical meetups will be way down, obviously due to the quarantine. Now, for what I consider to be the most important metric, in 2019, Mtch had a net annual income of $535 million. If I'm being generous, I could see the total global online dating market being worth $12 billion by 2025. Note, most analysts expect it to be worth in between $9 to $10 billion by 2025. Let's assume Mtch can hold on to its 25% total market share, which would also be considered a success, especially considering there are so many region-specific dating apps being released. Meaning, Mtch would be able to bring in $4 billion in revenue and around $1 billion in net profit in 2025. This would be my best case scenario. And with so much of their current revenue coming from Tinder, if some controversy were to come up regarding Tinder, it would be devastating for Mtch, but definitely not game over. Anyways, Mtch is currently valued at $23 billion, and if, in our bull case scenario, Mtch were to bring in $1 billion in net income in 2025, that would equate to massive upside in share price. But this may be even more important to note. Mtch Group's short percentage of float is over 64%, and any short interests as a percentage of float above 20% is considered extremely high. This means Mtch Group has an unbelievable short squeeze potential, but also capable of insane amounts of volatility. With earnings next week, we should expect to see it move big one way or the other. With all of this in mind, in good conscience, I can't recommend you buy into Mtch, at least before earnings. However, call me a hypocrite, but I'm strongly considering opening up a position myself. And if I do, it's going to be before earnings. In all honesty, it's easier for me to be reckless with my money than to tell someone else to be reckless with theirs. Take it for what it is. Just to throw down some of my personal philosophy, at the end of the day, we all just want to feel loved. And Mtch is taking full advantage of the changing landscape. And Tinder found me the love of my life. Shout out to Big Bird. Anyways, this was your reporter, Quick Stocks. And as always, the best investment you could make is hitting the subscribe button to invest in Quick Stock. Buy in at 75 subscribers and plan an early retirement.